Got it. So, hi, Satnam.
Hi, Harmanderpal. Oh, so nice to see you.
Yeah, I'm so happy to see you too.
Yeah.
Welcome in my bedroom.
Oh, and welcome to my little home in the United States.
Yeah, I'm in
Virginia.
Bruges.
I'm in Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the magic of these times, no?
Yes, that's one of the advantages of this Zoom.
Yeah. So, let me take a little moment to introduce you to our people in Holland, because I think a lot of people know you, but of course not everybody. Yeah.
Well, they might not recognize me.
I think it's about the eyes and about the smile.
Oh, okay. All right.
I recognize you always. You look lovely, don't you?
You
I
do
cannot
too.
ask anybody, don't you agree with me? But I'm sure they will. So Gurudass Kaur is a teacher and also a child play magician. She has the child play in her, and she has the ability to really do very nice things as well for the inner child as for the real children. She has a very nice voice. I've loved you singing a lot. I listen to you a lot here at home, and we've been singing a lot as well, ain't we, at the festival through the choir?
Yes, we did the choir together for some years. Yeah, beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got to know each other there, and that made that I had the possibility to app her and ask, can you maybe give us some of your
Understanding about this concept.
understanding and the deeper knowledge for somebody who has been practicing yoga so long. It's an honor to really listen about what you feel about our Suni-ai. Did you receive it? The video?
Yes, I did. Yes. Yes, lovely, lovely. Anyway, thank you for this introduction, although what we're going to share today really has nothing to do with me, which might be a nice introduction into this concept of what is Suni-ai. And I'd like to approach it. For those of you who are doing this, is it a 40-day?
Yes, we're doing a 40-day. We're doing a 40-day meditation. We have the celestial, so we remember all our sentences to shut down and to come into inside and listen to our inner voice and listen to the voice of the universe, because that's what we need in these times, I think.
Yes. And it really is the basis of what we might call the spiritual search. You know, we come upon a spiritual path, and I would hope that for most, if not everyone, what you're searching for is to wake up and become more conscious of who you truly are.
Yeah, that can be a mess, no?
Yeah. I mean, communication is the basis of life. Most of us, you know, we come into life born into a tribe of people, and these people, they condition us with their beliefs and their concepts and their understanding about life, their traditions, their rituals, their preferences. And all of this becomes what we listen to, and what makes up our sense of individual self.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I also have the feeling like sometimes it overrules what we hear inside, what we took from the environment.
Exactly. That's the point. The point is the ego that is fueled by this illusion, we call it in yoga, or ignorance. And all that ego and illusion and ignorance feeds the mind.
Mhm.
And then the mind starts listening to what it gets fed by the ego. And we start to believe certain concepts of who we are. And really, the spiritual journey is more about finding out who you're not. As you figure out who you're not, what's left is who you really are, your eternal self. And, you know, in our yoga practice, we use the term Sat Nam, true self. Yeah. So
we actually did also this practice in the first lesson. We did so hung, you breathe in, you hold yourself like this, you breathe in so, and you breathe out hung. And it's about the same. It's about the Satnam and connecting with the breath to be able to have the mind and the heart communicating, because our heart often knows and the mind doesn't follow that fast. It's still busy with all these things it has heard before it gets this concept of connection.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crucial element, breath awareness. Not only being aware, mindful of how you're breathing, which affects the mind and puts you into a deeper state of meditation when you slow down the breath, but also the understanding that breath is prana. It's the life force, it's consciousness. And just for a certain kind of spiritual, maybe we could call it spiritual physics, understanding. In the beginning, before the universe came into existence, there was only the potential of a universe. And everything that's in potential has to be actualized. So the universe became actualized. And in our, what we would call our spiritual scriptures and our yogic scriptures, the understanding is the universe became actualized through a burst and explosion of vibration. And that vibration issued forth as the creation. And that explosion was an energetic explosion, energy. And the entire universe is comprised of this energy. And there are other terms we can use for that word energy. We can use the term consciousness. We can also use the term source.
For me, it also, I feel inside, I always have this feeling like ek, om, kar. Whenever I practice that, I also have this feeling like ek, om, kar. It's this, and it's there. It's expanding. It's been, yeah. And actually, if you listen, often you can hear this kind of energies coming in, and there's another wave.
Yeah, so I think it's important to realize that all energy is vibration. And the universe is the one unifying vibration of all things. But also, everything that vibrates, which is the entire universe, creates a sound. So we are actually existing in a symphony. It's a cosmic symphony all around us. Even though our ear can't hear the full range of sound of this one unifying vibration of all things.
That's actually as well what's in the Suni-ai, isn't it? It's about everything is listening. The earth is listening, the water is listening, the Akashic records are listening. Everything is listening. And this listening, this Suni-ai is also this wave. A wave can be heard on a subtle level. We people only hear this amount of tones, and it might get worse when we get older, how much we hear. But there's such a big range to be heard.
Yes, and I think when most people translate this term Suni-ai into listening, as human beings, as human body mind organisms, we think of listening is something that we do in the human realm. We think of it as a kind of more finite kind of communication. What can I hear? And the Suni-ai that's being spoken of in these pauris that were shared by Baba Nanak, what I'm reading that he's saying is, when you stop listening to your mind, that's when you can really hear the inner truth. And that inner truth is that one unifying vibration of all things, the underlining sound current or shabad of the entire universe. So it takes quieting down the mind and the senses. We call that in yoga pratyahar. So this practice of quieting down the mind, we have many tools to do that in yoga. Meditation, mantra, and even a certain level of contemplation or Gyan yoga, using the intellect, the mind as your ally to understand, again, what you are not, to break through this veil of ignorance, and be able to really become quiet.
I have to smile because I hear you say words that I actually wrote down in the newsletter that is going to go out, and I've already written it. I've used words like the veil in our mind, and I've used, I've also written about, even if it's these little moments that you experience that really, it quiets down inside. Celebrate these little moments, because that is for your system. It can be like a guideline. This is what I want to reach more, this silence. So it's very beautiful to hear you choose exactly the words in another language, of course, that I was also
yeah, and they're not even my words. I'm using words that have also I've been inspired by also in my own personal study and contemplation on this theme. Yeah, and it's important as a spiritual searcher to understand we have to find the way to listen to truth and wisdom and override the ignorance. And that understanding is that the mind will only feed you ignorance because it's being fueled by the ego. And the ego exists in a finite form, and it is a mechanism just to protect a you. But when we talk about Suni-ai, we're talking about that part that is beyond an individual you that we think is me. So that you come to the understanding that there's no me, there's no you, there's only oneness, there's only one unifying vibration of all things. And that is the underlining truth, that is the substance of this universe. And we call it, again, source, or divine light, or infinite wisdom, or we call it love. So the spiritual search is to really fall deeply into this state of love. And it's that's Suni-ai.
Mhm.
You quiet down, and then you hear the vibration that permeates everything. And you realize that you are that vibration. You are a part of it, and you are it.
Mhm. And I have the feeling for myself that when life stresses me out, sometimes I can really find myself being stressed and like being like, but I am raising the knowledge that I can go back to that. So it's not only you are that, but this state will manifest again if I leave this state of being stressed, or of being overwhelmed, by being emotional, by being angry, because there's a lot of, for the moment here in Belgium and Holland, there's a lot of regulations because the pandemic, we have the fourth wave. And so there's a lot of this energy. People feel suppressed. And it's, it's a challenge to keep inside.
It's a wonderful challenge. Think about it. We're all being given a challenge to stop going out. You're feeling repressed. So you stop going out, and then where can you go? You can go within.
Yeah.
And you can use your breath. It is the most divine tool that we've been given. And the breath is the consciousness. It's the tool to take you to a higher state of consciousness. And it is the consciousness itself. And you use it to quiet the mind down. So then you can start hearing the true inner sound of peace, of well-being, of contentment, of what I call peace of mind. Yeah. Everybody says, oh, I'm looking for happiness. I want to be happy. No, we live in a realm of polarity. There's no happy without sad. Mm-hmm. So that's not a purposeful search. And sometimes we're stressed and sometimes we're relaxed. Again, this is part of our human experience.
It is.
But how can we come to peace of mind? That is really the crux of the spiritual search.
Yeah, I think you will know it like I know it, but I have a lot of times mantra in the background. So they pop up to the rescue when I'm somewhere where I'm like feeling like, oh my God, or something is happening. I just go. I am quite sure you will have it as well, because I had it after 20 years of singing mantras, and you're way beyond the 20 years than me. So
me personally,
yeah,
way beyond 20 years. Yeah, but that, it's not a time element.
No,
it's not. It's not. It's a way you have to wake up, because you can do things without really a pure intention, and that will take you so far. Mm-hmm. One can sit around doing all kinds of practices, but all of it is about cultivating a self. Mm-hmm. You want to be admired. You want people to look at you as some big teacher, or whatever it is that your agenda is. And that's how far you'll get. But, today we're talking about the power of these pauris, the Suni-ai pauris. And the beauty of Shabad or mantra is you don't even have to fully understand the meaning of the mantra or the pauri to receive the benefit of its vibration. I always think it's great to have some, even what we might call intellectual discussion on the meaning, because that could inspire the mind. And an inspired mind is a wonderful ally. So for that reason, you could look at, I'm just going to look at this first pauri, the Suni-ai Sid Pir Surnat, Suni-ai Darit Double Akash, Suni-ai Deep Low Patal, Suni-ai Poi Nasake Kal, Nanak Bhagata Sada Vigas, Suni-ai Duk Papkanas. So it's been translated by hearing through deep listening with love and devotion, the devotees attain higher states of knowledge. So if you study that, then you come to the understanding in part of what we've been talking about. How do you quiet yourself down? Quiet down all the little vibrations that are taking over. I like this, I don't like that, I need to do this, I'm feeling this, I'm me. It's usually all about me. Quiet me down.
That's a thing that I want to do.
And listen.
Yeah.
Listen to the underlining vibration that is humming along and let that hum vibrate your heart. Open your heart, your power center. And then it says, by deeply listening to the word, and what is the word? The word is the vibration. You know, they even say it in the Bible. In the Bible, the first, I don't really know the Bible well. It was never something introduced in my childhood, but if I remember correctly, the first line is, in the beginning, there was the word, and the word was good, and the word was God, something like that. And I think it's fascinating. In the beginning was the word. They're saying in the beginning was the vibration, that one unifying vibration of all things, that explosion that created the universe. And the word was good. It was love. And the word was God, the generating, organizing, and destroying principle of all things. It's really exactly what we're talking about here, that we're reading through the Japji by Baba Nanak. So by listening deeply to the word, the devotees come to have knowledge of higher realms. Yeah, you got to get yourself out of the lower realms. Elevate your consciousness, wake up. That's how you do it. And that's what our practice is all about. And that's what this offering that you have organized with the Suni-ai chanting mantra and the celestial, to bring in that element to relax the body mind. And then the Pauri says, deeply listening, death cannot touch you. Because you realize that your true self is eternal. Your truth. You go beyond the limited mind and ego that are afraid of dying because they're going to die. They have a right to be afraid because they are going to die, because it's part of the finite. It's going to go. The ego goes when you go. But the true self, that one unifying vibration of all things, maybe we call it our soul, our spirit, that drop in the big ocean that we are, that continues. So it's really a very beautiful practice that you have offered to this group of people that are joining you and us in doing this sadhana. Yeah, I really commend you for this offering that you've given in your very, very busy life. Of anybody that I know, you are the busiest woman, and yet you keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that, you give a lot of yourself, and I know that helping others to vibrate together, open their heart, drop this veil of illusion, break through the confines and the ignorance of the ego. Yeah, all this will elevate us all. So I want to thank you for this opportunity to share today. And I don't want to make it much longer for those who are watching.
Yeah,
and we can come back another time and share.
Yeah, of course. I was also feeling like I only have one thing to add, and that is what I was feeling is it's about trust, and about have trust in the power that it will help you. It is very, very good, and it works very, very well. And just trust it. There's so many ways you can get it explained, and you can help your mind to understand it, and you can your mind can tell your heart how to understand it, but the trust and just doing it, it's yeah, it works.
Yeah, it's the power of Shabad Guru. It's the power of mantra.
Yes.
It cuts through the small vibrations so that you can go to your core, to shunya, to a place of silence.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean you have to walk around being silent. That's not the point. No, you can shout from the rooftops and sing and dance and everything that you do. But it's connecting with your real, that inner vibration that you truly are.
Yes.
And it frees you up. Yes. So you can be joyful and experience inner peace. Okay, I'll say no more. I think we've come to our
time. We really covered it all. Now they just have to practice. But I say one thing more, my dearest Gurudass. I want to thank you.
Wonderful. Oh, I thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share. I am passionate about this theme. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you too.
Yeah, and all my love to everybody.
And sending you a lot of blessings, good wishes. Have a good end of the year.
This.
Yeah, I still am practicing that one.
Are you still practicing that one? Okay. Oh, my love.